Hey there everyone, this is Matt at Marine Tech. Just giving you guys a quick update on Thor. We have her about ready to roll out the door. It's 2023. We're getting ready for the weather to get nice, and students are all excited to go shake this boat down. So we've done a bunch of projects. We'll show you in the video. Our rigging students completely rebuilt all the winches, which were really gunked up. We replaced some chain plates, replaced a couple turnbuckles, checked out the whole rig itself. So we're gonna roll this thing out the door, put the rig on, and go take it for a cruise here. So enjoy the video. See you guys next time.
Okay, this is one of the fun parts after the old bulkheads were chopped out, is check out Tech Tip 25, making patterns. Door skin, hot glue gun, and made the job super easy, got a nice fit, and once we had the two patterns, port and starboard, that's Jacob and I working, and instructor Beemer here. We then took those and compared them to the wooden ones that we had cut out to make sure everything looked good, and then we went straight away to the Kusa board and made replacements. Yeah, lots of fun. Here we are. We decided, because we had some material, that we're going to use Kusa board, synthetic, instead of the marine ply, and we put a couple heavy layers of carbon fiber and epoxy on both sides, mostly because it'll look cool. But yeah, so the two new bulkheads are laying there, and Jacob and I got busy and took a couple days to do one side, the other side, whatever. But we wetted it all out, and we had test fit those bulkheads before we put the carbon fiber on them, and they turned out perfect. What a great improvement for this old boat. When you're restoring fiberglass boats, this is what it's about, you know, making new parts and getting in, inspecting, and just having a good time. Okay, next, students from Matt's rigging class, we went ahead and took all the hardware off the boat, and as Matt mentioned, on the winches, and they rebed everything. And not only did they rebed, do a nice job, you could see those G10 backer blocks that was left over from King's Pride. And so we got rid of the old plywood and put all new backing blocks and got all the deck hardware inspected, properly sealed, ready to go. We should have no leaks, so thanks crew, awesome work. Okay, students cut out the old bulkheads and we showed them off already. This is something that I did, you know, instructor Beemer here. It's never that much fun. I do like one of our locals, Matthew Weaver over there at Fiberglass Supply. He's got a bunch of stuff called Itching for Fun. Check out his website. But when you're restoring fiberglass boats, this is what it's about. We had to grind the paint and stuff back, make sure we get good secondary bonds, and you know, we don't have enough time in the day for everything that students are doing, and we want them to focus on their labs and their learning. And Fridays is my fun Fridays when I build skiffs and stuff, and so I had a little bit of time. So I grabbed the tools and went after it and got ready to actually glue in the bulkheads, and it turned out really nice. I didn't throw a suit on. We have them, mostly just because I was doing a little demonstration for the video and for our students about how much fun it could be. You saw my full face respirator and my sweatshirt with all the dust. I just went home, grabbed a cold shower, rinsed it off. It was totally fine. Don't mind doing it every once in a while. So, ready for the new bulkheads. After all that grinding, there was a fair amount of cleanup. Jacob did a good job taping off a lot of the boat, so we didn't have as much to do and remove stuff, but fair amount of work. We removed a lot of material, so we had to get it nice and clean before we could put those new bulkheads in. After a nice cleanup, we got in and did the trial fitting. It's really nice with those chain plates and the existing holes, snap clamp. We did all that. We decided that since they fit really well, they looked really good, that we were going to not paint these after all. We're going to leave the center maybe with that carbon fiber look, and so we're going to do a little 3-inch border or something around the edges where we tab and glass in the bulkheads. And so that was one thing that we knew we wanted to do after we had this great job done and they fit. So then we mixed up thickened epoxy and did a fillet. We like using a little Ziploc bag, made our own little radius tools, and got a nice big fillet put in, and then got ready for the actual glassing in of those bulkheads. There it is, all taped, and we did some sanding, some grinding. The start of it we did a little bit more. Make sure we got a good secondary bond with our epoxy. And then we went in and we didn't video it. We had lots of gloves and stuff. Sorry about the lighting. But we did about 8 layers or whatever of material and epoxy all the way around all 3 sides. And so those bulkheads are locked in, solid. You could probably lift the entire boat with those 2 bulkheads and the main chain plates. A little bit of probably overkill, but we want it to be nice and strong for the Skallywags to go sailing. There's Instructor Beemer again. I'm always in there working. I can't help it. I just love this stuff, fixing up old boats. All that glass work actually was done. Shout out to my son Jordan. He got out of the Navy and he was around, so he did all the wet out. We set up a station in the cockpit and got everything wet out. He handed them to me, and I rolled it out and stuck it down in these bulkheads. Still got cleanup work to do, but I got in once again on Friday when students are gone and try to keep this project moving along. So I had to cut out. I used a little drill there on the corners and a fine tool to get up in there and actually get those chain plates. At least I did one of them up through the deck, and then student Jacob, he got in there and did the other one the following Monday, and he did all the bolts and drilling, and bam, just like that, new bulkheads, new chain plates. It's really shaping up. There it is, done. Good work, Jacob. He got in. Like I said, he rebedded those down, all the bolts. They're in. They're looking good. And we are so close to putting the mast back on. Next thing we're doing on Thor is we got it centered up underneath our lifting gear with a couple ton chain fall, because it's got a lifting bracket right down here. We don't have the mast on, so we weighed the mast at 53 pounds and set a battery in there right as close as we could get it to where the mast will be, because the idea is we need to build a bridle, a lifting bridle. This boat lived in that area before, but we don't have the lifting gear, and the previous owner said it didn't lift very well. And so what we're going to do is work with some lines. We're going to make it out of some Dyneema am steel, because when it's flopping around on the deck, of course, we don't want it to be marring the gel coat and everything like chain would be. So this is what's next. Bulkhead's done, and as soon as we get the lifting gear sorted out, we're going to take it outside and put the mast back on it, and we will be ready to go for a test sail. Big shout out here on the trailer. NCTA finished. It took a second quart of paint, has it all painted up. And then here are the amounts you can see scrolling up as to what we spent so far.